everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Athletes Tribune. This is your host, Ian Suyu, and together with me are my co-hosts, Mr. Julius Manicad and Ms. Bea Micalier. And for our tonight's episode, we will be having one of the smartest basketball coaches in the country. Not just he joined the likes of Benji Paras and Ronnie Magsanok in winning the last UAAP championship title for the University of the Philippines in 1986, but he also steered the way for the National University Bulldogs on its glorious Cinderella run back in 2014. And let's welcome, without further ado, Alaska Aces Assistant Coach and Chooks to Go Pilipinas 3x3 Commissioner, Mr. Eric Altamirano. Good evening, Coach.
Good evening. Good evening. I don't know about the smartest, but thank you. Action.
Anyway, sir, kamusta kayo ngayon dyan? Anong pinagkakaabalahan natin during this community quarantine?
Well, talagang most of my time talagang sa bahay lang. I haven't really had a chance to go out. We're still waiting for an advice from the government kung kailan tayo pwede mag-open. Resume ng mga ginagawa natin sa sports.
And sir, speaking of resumption of games or trainings, regarding sa 3x3, sir, PBA and other leagues have already submitted a protocol or proposal for the resumption of their games. Ang Chooks to Go 3x3 ba, may plans na rin po ba regarding that?
Well, yeah, actually, we just presented our proposal, yung restart ng basketball for 3x3. We presented it sa IITF through Mr. Sunny Barrios ng SVP, and we're just waiting for their advice. Mapapayagan na kami. As you may know, nag-qualify tayo sa Olympic qualifier, no, yung 3x3. 16 countries lang ang nag-qualify dyan, and we were fortunate enough to be one of the 16. And it was supposed to be held noong March sa India. Kaya unfortunately, na-cancel, na-postpone. And I think they already announced, FIBA already announced that it will be resumed next year, May 26 to 29 sa Austria next year. So, kaya nga we're appealing sa IITF na kung sana mabigyan kami ng opportunity na makapagsimula na ng practice. I mean, we're not expecting yung full competition right away. At least man lang yung mga players maka-start na sila makapag-practice, no. I've submitted a gradual approach to training, and it comes into 3 phases, no. Merong individual training approach, and then merong small group approach, and then may full team training approach. So siyempre gradual lang naman yan. So we're appealing na payagan kami kahit man lang sa first phase ng aming proposal.
Malaking bagay talaga pag nakapag-start na ngayon yung mga players natin for their training.
Tagal-tagal nang nabakante yung mga players. Imagine, 3 months na sila sa mga athletes. Sobrang tagal na nun.
Yeah.
Nakapag-practice. Baka nga iba dyan, medyo nagtabaan na. Imagine, once in a lifetime opportunity to na makapag-qualify tayo sa Olympics.
And Bea and Mr. Julius, may questions po ba kayo?
Coach, you've been always known as a mentor of 5-on-5 basketball. And 3x3 is an entirely different discipline. Ikaw ba as a coach, nag-adjust ka rin ba sa coaching styles, or did you study other techniques, di ba, for 3x3?
I was blessed enough na ma-experience ko yung evolution ng 3x3. Kasi I remember, Julius, na magkasama tayo sa when I was coaching the under-16 national team, I was also appointed as the coach of our 3x3 team doon sa Youth Olympic, Asian Youth Games. I was a consultant in games, no? Pinadala natin dyan si Jerome Teng, if you remember, Jerome Teng, Mike Pate, Parks, yan. Si Jeff Habilionar. So, yun yung start ng 3x3, no? So, at that time, parang iba pa yung rules noon. And then, recently, nagkaroon ng sobrang taas na awareness and level of interest itong 3x3. Hindi lang sa ating bansa, kundi all over the world. nagkaroon na ng World Tour, World Cup, and then eventually, nagkaroon na ngayon sa Olympics ng sport ng 3x3. So, it has become a big sporting exercise. Siguro, it's completely different from 5-on-5. Talagang you really have to learn the sport. Pero it's something that interests me kasi alam mo naman ang basketball, talagang natin, number one sport natin yan. And I feel na pwede tayo mag-excel talaga dito. And true enough, napakita natin sa buong mundo na kaya natin makipagsabayan dito sa mga magagaling sa ibang bansa.
Coach, sa 3x3 ba, anong pinakakailangan natin? Kailangan ba natin ng height dyan? Kailangan ng speed? Or just purely larong kalye, technique lang, di ba? Court smart, di ba? Ano kailangan natin sa 3x3, Coach?
Nung una, akala ko ganun lang eh. Talagang, bara-bara lang, But there's a science to it. As we continue playing and then going abroad and competing against the best, na nakikita namin na there's a science to it, no? May mga concepts na you need to learn to be able to compete against the best, no? When you talk about yung height, hindi naman kailangan ng sobrang tangkad, no? Yung mga kailangan ng skills mo dito, multi-skilled ka eh. You cannot be limited to, let's say, you're a big man that you just love to play inside. Kailangan, you should be adaptable. You should be able to play outside and then also inside. Ngayon, it really helps kung malaki ka. So, sa atin, ano ba yung malaki? When you talk about malaki, ano ba yung height ng malaki? Kasi, nung travel kami and we play against the other European countries, meron sa kanila mga 6'10", 6'9", pero sila, they can play outside, they can shoot the three, they can put the ball down. So, di ba tayo, pag sinabi nating malaki, 6'4", 6'5". So, compare sa kanila, maliit pa rin yun eh, di ba?
Coach, napapansin ko yung mga Serbian players or Europeans, hindi sila mga sikat na basketball players sa 5-on-5, di ba? Parang pang 3x3 talaga sila. Do you think we should adapt that model? Meron lang tayo isang certain pool of 3x3 players na hindi tayo heheram sa PBA ng mga professional players.
That's the ideal setup. No? We can tap players talaga exclusive for I think that's what we did with our Chooks to Go 3x3 teams, no, na nagko-compete. Talagang nag-focus sila sa 3x3, no. Although some of our players also nagmo-moonlight din, naglalaro din sila sa 5-on-5. Well, for economic reasons, 'di ba? Kailangan. Pero idea din talaga maganda 'yon. That's a good suggestion. I think sa Europe ginagawa na nila kasi nakita nila very lucrative din eh. Sa World Tour, yung mga players that play there, laki din ang kinikita nila.
Yes, of course.
To what they can get if they play 5-on-5.
And then, Coach, isa pa, we have to understand that this is an Olympic event. Di ba? Kung hindi man natin makuha sa 5-on-5, makuha man lang natin sa 3x3, which doesn't require height, di ba? Which just bank on speed, on court smart, on brilliance. So, maganda ang future natin sa 3x3. Do you agree, Coach?
I totally agree. I think it's very evident to what happened to us last year. Last year was the only year that we really focused on competing sa 3x3 sa international level. And I think that really helped us get into the Olympic qualifier kasi sumali kami sa mga tournaments abroad. Ang dami namin sinalihan. And then because of that, nag-pile up kami ng points, no? That helped us also get into the qualifier. Of course, aside from nagkaroon tayo ng sarili nating liga sa 3x3, Chooks to Go 3x3 League. No? So that was whole year round. We kept on playing and it helped our players get used to the game and prepare them also when they compete abroad. And I think it was a very successful formula na ginawa ng Chooks to Go. And hopefully, sana we will also do well dito sa Olympic qualifier kasi ito na yung ticket natin para makapasok tayo sa Tokyo Olympics.
From a scale of 1 to 10, Coach, anong tingin mo? Honest forecast.
Bago nag-pandemic, bago tong lockdown, I was really upbeat. I was really upbeat kasi, you know, we were practicing for a year, di ba? So talagang we were sharp, and then we were very familiar with how the other countries would play. Lalo na yung nasa bracket natin, nasa group natin, we were able to practice and review. So we were so I really don't know. Depends on what we do after the lockdown or when we will be allowed to practice. Kasi parang parang back to zero uli lahat. Imagine. Ngayon, you don't have to lang yung strategy ang kailangan mong isipin. Ngayon, iisipin mo how to get the players back in shape. And then yung mental frame of mind nila pa, and with all the things happening around, talagang mahirap talaga. That's why, you know, I hope na payagan na kami talaga ng IATF na mag-start ng practice. And I'm not saying this because you know, it's something na parang it's a privilege. I'm not saying that. Ang sinasabi ko lang is because of this lockdown, sana ma-realize din ng IATF na hindi lang naman yung mga ibang tao ang naapektuhan. Kasi hindi mo pwedeng i-separate yung mga athletes. Hindi mo pwedeng separate ang sports. Kasi because of the lockdown, there's a massive loss in the sports industry. You know that, diba? Ang daming mga nawawalan talaga ng trabaho, revenues from our sponsors, revenues sa mga liga, sa mga team owners. And of course, I understand yung yung ginagawa ng government natin. Siyempre, safety and health first, 'di ba? And yung proposal na sinubmit ko, ang unang priority doon is yung health and safety of everybody involved. Siyempre, kailangan mag-ingat tayo kasi kung isa doon sa mga member ng team natin ang magkaroon ng ma-positive ng virus, syempre it will affect everybody, di ba? So, I think ang sinasabi ko, if we resume or we restart basketball, sisiguraduhin ng mga players na they will be safe kasi trabaho nila yan eh. Hindi nila pababayaan yan, magiging disiplina sila. And what I'm trying to say to the IATF is, ang movements lang ng players will be home, training venue, home. Yun lang ang movements nila. And then they will be tested before they resume practice. So they will be tested before, two tests before the start ng training, and then every week may test sila. And then meron pang may contact tracing app pas kaming gagamitin just to make sure na we follow yung mga protocols ng government.
Bea, do you have question, Bea,
Yes.
for Coach Eric?
Yes. Yes, Coach. Kasi diba you've handled the national team before, and right now merong ongoing debates kung sino ba yung dapat mag-handle ng next national team natin. It's either ba foreigner or local coach. Coach, ano yung thought niyo on that? Sino ba dapat mag-handle ng next national team natin?
You mean yung Gilas?
Yes, Gilas Pilipinas.
That's a very controversial question, ha? Akin, siyempre, I will leave it up to the SBP, they know better. Pero from the past, if you base it from the past, nag-work naman yung combination di ba?
Yes.
Combination of foreign coach and a local coach. So why not do it again? Di ba?
Mm-hmm.
So parang sa akin kasi parang yung foreign coach, yes, technically he's going to be good. Sigurado yan, for sure. Whoever SBP gets as a foreign coach, magaling yan. Kaya lang iba yung culture. Diba? So you need a Filipino coach para siya naman mag-guide doon sa culture ng mga Pilipino. You can always say, ganito yung mga at pusong mamun yung mga players na yan. Diba? Medyo hindi ka pwede maging militaristic dyan or something or ano ba yung strength ng mga Pilipino as a player? Ano bang so he can share that to the foreign coach. And then in communication, line of communication kasi siyempre Pilipino hindi ganun kadaling mag-communicate sa isang foreign coach, 'di ba? Pero kung meron kang isang Filipino coach, at least kung may gustong paratingin yung player, meron siyang bridge towards that foreign coach. So I think a combination is for me would be a good setup.
Ian?
And ayun sir, speaking of foreign coaches, punta naman tayo this is perhaps a controversial question as well. Yung regarding naman sa mga foreign players na naglalaro in the collegiate ranks. So being a college coach for a long year, tagal na panahon na, ano yung comment niyo on that, sir? Anong thoughts niyo on that?
Kasi baka bias ako when I answer that kasi alam mo may mga when I was coaching NU, may mga sa akin nakatira yung mga mga players namin, no? Like sila Alfred Aroga, si Sean Embe, si Isa Guy. So para mga anak ko na yan 'di ba? And ang masasabi ko lang is basketball has evolved around the world. It's a global game now. It's a global game. So you cannot limit yourself. If you want to really improve as a country in the sport, then you have to be global. You have to be global. NBA has become a global league already. From what I heard recently, Japan starting to do that as well. So siyempre I'm for it, no? I'm for foreigners, lalo na in my experience, I never had any problems with foreign players sa team kasi when I see them, lalaki ng katawan nila, ang tatangkad nila, pero deep inside they're all kids. They need guidance, they need discipline. Pero at the end of the day, lalo ngayon, alam mo, makakwento ko lang sa inyo a good example na what basketball has done to them as a student athlete. Yung player namin dati ng NU, si Sean Embe. Sean Embe played for NU for 4 years, no? And then he graduated. And you know what? Right now he's in I think Sweden, and he has his own business. He's Denmark. He has his own fitness center. No, it's thriving. It's really doing well. So nakakatuwa di ba? Na nakatulong tayo dito sa mga bata na to pursue their dreams. And I don't think they're mercenaries. I don't think so. Kasi they want to study. They want to be educated. And just like Sean, nagamit niya yung kanyang education to good use kasi nakapaggawa siya ng negosyo sa ibang bansa.
Yes, Sir Julius?
Coach, aside from the foreigners, ang dami mo ring mga bata na sa'yo tumira na hanggang ngayon PBA players na like Troy Rosario and sino nga ba yung point guard, Coach? Si LA Revilla. Diba? Coach, paano mo sila gino-groom? Anong mga words of wisdom ang binibigay mo sa kanila?
Well, unang-una, ano lang naman yan, hindi naman sinasadya yung mga yan. Just so happen na, it started with LA, no? Si LA Revilla talaga yung una dyan. When he was 14 years old, nakita ko siya in Bacolod and, I saw how he plays and nakita ko, wow, pure point guard. And ang liit-liit lang niya talaga that time. Pero nakita ko yung potential and I'm a point guard as well. So sabi ko, I talk to the parents na kung hihintayin pa natin matapos ng high school si LA, baka might be too late na. So we decided to bring him here sa Manila. And true enough, the rest is history. He was able to make it big in the PBA, and then after that, yun, biglang marami na sumunod na mga, parang na-encourage kami, na-inspire kami sa buhay ni LA, and we, marami ng mga dumaan na players sa amin, and parang lang naman kami, it's a transient house lang yung bahay namin. Parang they stay with us for a while, and then pag na-plug na namin sila sa mga schools, and then usually they stay in the dorm, and then they only visit us pag summer or pag wala silang pasok, yan, pupunta sila sa bahay. So ganun yung naging buhay namin, no, for the last couple of years. And then of course sila Troy, Paser Amer, ang dami niyan, to name a few. Yan yung mga tumira sa amin.
But more than anything else, Coach, ang common denominator nila, lahat sila mababait na bata. Diba? There must be something sa'yo at kay Ma'am Marisa para mag-groom mo sila into that kind of person that they are right now.
Ako, hindi sila pwede kay Marisa kasi doon. Kailangan uwi ka ng maaga, hindi ka pwedeng magloko-loko sa school, papagalitan ka talaga nun. So lahat 'yon. Kahit yan sila yung mga players namin, pag sinabi niyang subukan niyo lang ma-technical foul sa laro. Pag uwi niyo, lagot talaga. Sabi nila, mas takot pa raw sila kay Tita Marisa kaysa sa player na makakapagod nila sa court.
Oo, kasi na-witness ko yan firsthand nung naglaro tayo sa Johor Bahru, eh, di ba? Masyado talaga siyang passionate, masyado siyang And siya yung may motherly instinct sa mga players. Even the star players, Kevin Ferrer, Kiefer Ravena, lahat sila sumusunod kay Ma'am Marisa. But anyway, Coach, nung college ka, you played in UP with Benji Paras, Ronnie Magsanok. Coach, that was the last championship of UP. Tingin nyo, ano kailangan gawin ng UP para maibalik yung glory years na yun? Ano ba bang kulang?
Actually, malapit na sila eh, no? They're in the heading into the right direction. Just so happened na talagang, it's so hard to win a championship sa UAP, especially now. Sobrang hirap. If they're aggressive with their recruitment, the other schools are also aggressive with their recruitment. So it's only a matter of sometimes breaks of the game, sometimes, it's pure luck, or if you can say that. So, pero sa nakikita ko ngayon, malapit na sila eh. I mean, they have the tools, they have the coaches, they have the management support, school support. Kompleto na. So, malapit na yan. I mean, andun na yung they believe that they can win eh, di ba? Yun naman ang importante doon eh.
Yes.
So, compared nung previous, talagang hirap. Kasi unang ma-overcome mo dyan yung kaya ba nating manalo? Yung believing that they can win, di ba? So, at least now, they've overcome that. And then with management support, malapit na.
Coach, during your time ba, gano'n din yung naramdaman nyo sa UP? Kasi puro kayo marquee high school players eh, from San Beda. All of a sudden, nag-UP kayo lahat. So, gano'n din ba yung feeling nyo nun?
Parang gano'n din kasi yung last year namin, that was the only time na nagkaroon kami ng sentro. Yun yung sinasabi nga nila yung team namin, the first 3 years, para kami donut. Wala kaming sentro. Nung dumating si Benji, nung last year namin, yun, nakompleto na kami. So, we can compete. We can compete with the top teams, no? Yung mga teams nila Jericho Diniera, nila Jack Anuanon. So, we were confident nung last year namin. We were really confident na we can go all the way.
Bea, may question ka kay coach?
Yeah, coach, kasi after nung stint mo sa UP, no, naglaro ka sa PBA pero hindi siya tumagal. Nag-step ka agad sa pagiging coach. Anong nangyari, coach? Ba't hindi nagtuloy-tuloy yung career niya sa PBA as a player?
Nung nung rookie year ko pa lang, I was playing for Alaska na na kagad ako, I had a series of injuries. No? Yung, I think it's rin yun eh. It was caused dahil when I was playing in the amateurs, parang nabugbog yung katawan ko kasi I was practicing 3 times a day. No, I was practicing for three teams in every day. So parang nabugbog yung katawan ko, especially my foot, no. So pagdating ko ng PBA, medyo na siya, fragile na yung paa ko, and I had a lot of problems with the Achilles. Started with Achilles, and then on my second year naman, sorry, I had surgery on my second year, and then on my 6th year, I suffered torn ACL. So parang at that time, sabi ko, ayoko na mag-rehab ng 9 months. Ang tagal, parang I've always been in the rehab center every day. So parang half of my career, I was in the hospital. I was in the rehab center. So parang nasawa na ako. Sabi ko, ayoko na mag-rehab. So at the age of 28, I retired from playing basketball. And accidentally, I got into coaching.
Pero coach, was coaching has really been your dream before pa, nung bata pa kayo?
Can you repeat that? Sorry, nawala eh.
Has coaching been your dreams po nung bata pa kayo?
No, hindi. Aksidente lang talaga. Aksidente lang na nag-coach ako kasi even when I was a player and when I was a student, lang ako, tahimik ako. Ayoko masyadong nagsasalita. Ayoko masyadong, I don't want to be in the limelight. And when you become a coach, parang you have to diba? Kailangan. You have to show your leadership. You have to be good in communication. So I don't know. Hindi ko nga alam paano ako napunta sa coaching eh.
Yan.
Anyway, sir, sisingit ko lang dun sa sinabi ni Sir Julius kanina. Na kung may kulang ba sa UP, kayo yung kulang, sir, sa UP para mag-championship na.
Ako, magagaling na coach dyan. Iyan. Ako. I mean, pag tinignan mo yung coach staff ng UP, super galing talaga. And I have a lot of respect for them. So, it's only a matter of time. They'll be able to get that championship.
But if ever, sir, alokin kayo ng coaching position for UP, willing po ba? Anyway, coach, if ever po ba na alokin kayo ng coaching position ng UP, willing po ba kayo to accept it?
That's a question that I don't want to answer. I will just cross the bridge when I get there. Mahirap naman yung put a period in everything, di ba?
Pero coach, galing ka na sa UP rin before di ba?
Oo, sir.
Actually, I had a chance to coach the UP Maroons.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Bago ko nag-coach ng Pure Foods.
Yes.
96.
Yeah, correct. Oo. Coach, you had a pretty good run sa PBA as head coach. Di ba, napa-champion mo pa yung Mobiline with Silas Mills before. 1998 Centennial Cup. Okay. Yeah. Tapos ngayon, assistant coach ka ng Alaska. Anong difference nun? Hindi ba medyo, naglalaylo ka na ba ngayon sa PBA coaching career or what?
Yung pagiging assistant coach ko ng Alaska, the reason why I accepted that kasi hindi ko tatanggihan yung yung close friend ko, si Coach Alex Compton.
Correct.
Coach Alex, very close sa akin yan. We work together sa NBTC. And just so happened na at that time, si Coach Louis Alas tsaka si Topex Robinson left to coach
For
Phoenix.
Phoenix.
So, kailangan niya ng isang coach to help him out. So, siyempre, maraming coach na pwede ako mag-assistant pero siguro kay Coach Alex ako talaga hindi makakatanggi. Talagang he's a good friend of mine. I also want him to succeed. You know, I saw what happened nung time niya na remember nung time na sa San Miguel and all those heartaches. So sabi ko sana in my own little way I was able to help him. And that's also the reason why nung nawala si Coach Alex, I had to beg off also.
So you're no longer with Alaska pala?
Oo. Yeah.
Okay, Bea, you have question, Bea?
So, controversial tanong ulit, Coach. Ano mo sasabi niyo, Coach, sa sinabi ni Coach Tab regarding sa local coaches and other remarks na? Medyo controversial eh.
Ay, nawawala ka, Bea. Nawawala ka. Sa tingin ko, it's a matter of interpretation eh. Oo. Siyempre, may mga tao na ma-offend sa sinabi niya. But sa akin, personally, parang alam mo yung parang he was trying to drive at the coaching per se rather than the coaches. So he was really talking more of yung coaching. So, but then again, you know, there's different ways of interpreting what he said, and obviously a lot of people got offended, and siyempre, ganun talaga si Coach Tab eh. Ganun siya talaga magsalita eh. Di ba? Very, ano siya?
Straightforward.
Very frank. Yeah, very frank. And yeah. So, I think it came out medyo badly sa mga coaches no or sa PBA. But I watched that podcast and was trying to understand what he was trying to say. So sa akin, honestly, parang nakita ko, he was trying to drive at the coaching per se, not the coaches. So.
Alright. Ian?
And sir, mabalik natin no yung time niyo sa NU. You had this very memorable Cinderella run na na-lead niyo sa championship back in 2014. Ano yung naging motivation niyo that time no sa sa stint niyo doon sa NU?
Well, alam mo naman ang NU when it started, before I coached NU, cellar dweller yan ever since.
Correct.
Diba? So, talagang naalala ko when I was playing pa nung 80s, nung time namin, nung 80s, pagkalaban namin ng NU, ano na kami, yun yung parang relax na kami, parang okay. Count it as one win, di ba? And ito yung mga games na tuwa kami sa mga bench players namin kasi makakalaro na sila. Di ba? Ito yung mga ganung games ba? So, parang I took it as a challenge na, you know, to build a program for NU, build it from scratch, and then make it a champion team. You know, it's easier said than done. Pero sa totoo lang, ang hirap talaga. There was a time I wanted to give up already. I had a chance to coach NU before the championship 4 years. No, ika-4th year ko yung championship. So during my first 3 years, parang it was so hard. It was so hard. We were almost there on my 3rd year, and then we got upset by UST on a twice to beat. So very I felt really bad for my players, for the school, and I started questioning, bakit ba ako nandito? You know, what was the real purpose? Bakit pinasok ko na to, di ba? But true enough, you know, I truly understood ano yung plano ni God sa akin, bakit na ako nilagay dito sa NU na to. And it happened on my 4th year. Kasi nung pumasok ako dyan sa NU, very clear sa sinabi sa akin ni God na, you will be the head and not the tail. Very clear. So I held on to that word na you will be the head and not the tail. Yung team, talking about the team. So, nung 3rd year ako, nung na-upset kami ng UST, sabi ko, Lord, sabi mo head or tail, ano nangyari? Embarrassing to, di ba? Parang, but again, hindi pa nga pala tapos kasi nung 4th year, doon ko nakita yung promise ni God na nangyari, di ba? So, after 60 years,
Yes.
champion ng NU. Sabi nga ni Hansi, parang, 60 years sounded better than 59. So, kung nangyari yun nung the year before, 59 years, parang hindi maganda pakinggan. Pero pag sinabi mong 60 years, wow, parang mas may impact.
Anyway, Sir Julius, baka may question tayo.
Coach, we were talking kanina about the different dynamics ng 3x3. Coach, kung papipiliin ka sa lahat ng local players, sino ang perfect 3x3 players para sa'yo? Yung 3 player na gustong-gusto mong makuha para maglaro sa'yo.
Ano to? Kasama na PBA?
Lahat, Coach. Yung i-base lang natin sa pagkabagay niya sa principles ng 3x3.
Okay. So, of course, aside from the players that we have, I cannot discount them. Ang nakikita ko talaga na very ideal sa 3x3, si Troy Rosario.
Si Troy? Bakit, Coach?
And kasi si Troy, yun nga, multi-skilled siya eh. Di ba? He can play outside. He can shoot the 3. He can put the ball down. He's a good defender, rebounder, long siya. So, very ideal siya talaga sa 3x3. And then, ang isa si Stan Hardinger. Yan. He's a very good screener. He doesn't have to shoot to be effective. And he knows the European style of game. So, maganda siyang player for 3x3.
And sino pa? Last na, Coach?
Isa na lang.
Para 3x3 dream team natin.
Well, yung mga players namin ngayon sa 3x3, like si Joshua Monson, he has proven himself really well sa 3x3. He's our number 1 player in the Philippines, and I think he's inside the top 100 in the world. Diba? So, and then of course si Alvin Pasaol also. Kahit na gaganon yun, maliit, akala mo chubby, pero ang lakas ng katawan and nagugulat yung mga European players sa kanya. No? Hindi siya mabasa, hindi siya mabantayan. And then of course, yung mga players natin sa PBA, sila Moto 2, CJ Perez, although they're still trying to adjust to the rules. Mahirap talaga pagsabay yung 5-on-5 3x3.
As we kasi nga no SEA Games, parang talagang nag-a-adjust ang PBA player sa 3x3. Hindi talaga ganoon kadali. Hindi mo madadali ng isang ensayo lang yan. Talagang it will take years bago mo makuha.
Ang tagal. Talagang iba yung Southeast Asia, iba rin yung world. Iba rin yung iba nila, iba.
Kaya nga pinakamaganda niyan, dapat meron tayong dedicated 3x3 team kasi mura lang namang i-maintain to kumpara sa 5-on-5, di ba? Parang more than kalahati ang matitipid natin. But anyway, Coach, ito bang si Monzon?
Eventually, I think that will happen.
Ito bang si Monzon and si Pasaol, are they still dreaming of playing in the PBA or they'll just stay in 3x3?
Right now, ang target nila ngayon is really the Olympics. So they're really focused on making it in the Olympics. So of course, eventually they'll also go into the pros, no? Pero for now, yun talaga yung kanilang goal. Sino nga naman, parang lang yan, once in a lifetime opportunity for a basketball player to be part of the Olympics.
Coach, wala ba sa pipeline nyo na mag-groom na ng mga batang players for 3x3? Parang start as early as college or high school and then they will be exposed, di ba? International competitions. Kasama ba sa pipeline yun?
Sa ngayon, wala pa. But, down the line, I think because ngayon pala nagkakaroon tumataas yung level of interest sa 3x, I think eventually that will happen. Magkakaroon na tayo ng mga feeder program for 3x3.
Correct. Oo. Bea?
Coach, my last question ako. Kasi you've gone full circle sa coaching. Nag-coach ka ng amateur, ng professional, and even the national team. Ano po yung gusto mo mangyari sa career mo? Yung looking forward.
Ngayon, siguro lang, I'm still, kasi I've always been really interested in building programs.
Mm-hmm.
So whether that's in 3x3 or 5-on-5, so I would like to see myself involved in those type of professional path, yung able to build something from scratch and then helping our country in terms of developing the sport. And then, of course, ang love ko talaga, passion ko talaga is grassroots. So, I want to see more players develop, especially sa mga far-flung areas natin. Yung talagang hindi nabibigyan ng opportunity na ma-discover, na makapaglaro. Magaling sila, pero wala naman nagbibigay sa kanila ng opportunity. So, through the NBTC program, I'm hoping na magawa natin yan. Right now, NBTC is reaching 120 cities na sa buong Pilipinas. And we're servicing mga close to about 25,000 high school kids. So, we're hoping to expand pa. We're hoping na sana, hopefully after nitong pandemic na to, we should be able to go back and do what we're doing and hopefully with the support of the sponsors, matuloy namin yung programa ng NBTC.
Parang may tournament kayo ng NBTC, coach, no?
Oo, na-cancel din kami nung March. Not naman na-cancel, but na-postpone. So we are resuming it next year, March. So matutuloy naman. So I don't know if you heard, last March, not last year, but the year before, si Jalen Green naglaro sa NBTC sa National Finals kasama si Sotto.
Yes, coach. That's my next question, coach. Anong tingin mo? Nanggaling din si Jalen Green tsaka si Sotto eh. Ngayon, G-League sila. Anong tingin mo ron, coach?
Well, of course, we're very proud of these kids, kasi si Jalen played in the NBTC for 2 years.
Yes.
So, I mean, medyo may pangalan na siya, pero at that time, hindi pa ganun kalaki yung pangalan niya. And of course, si Kai naman, we've always had Kai in our program. So, we're very proud of those two players, Kasi whatever you say, they will always represent the Philippines, Laging sa kanila, nakatatak sa kanila yan, kung sino sila, saan sila galing. And, I mean, it reflects also if you can say it na kahit papaano in our own little way nakatulong yung programa ng NBTC. And we're hoping na makapag-discover pa tayo ng mga ganong klaseng mga players and mabigyan natin sila ng opportunity rin na makilala sa buong mundo.
Talaga, sino ba, coach, ang mga products ng NBTC aside from Kai and Jalen?
Ako, ang dami na. Baka hindi matapos yung programa nyo. Pero to name a few, yan sila Kiefer, sila Kevin Ferrer, Troy, Jello Alolino, halos lahat ng mga players namin sa under 16 noon. And then, dami yan. Sila Joronteng. Dami, super dami yan. Talagang
11th year na yata kayo ngayon di ba, coach?
13, going on 13.
Going 13 na. Oo.
Marami nang nakakatawa nga kasi nung nasa Alaska ako, so we play teams. Of course, si Jeron, nasa amin, di ba, NBTC. Pero every time na lang na pinapanood ko yung kabilang team, laging hindi nawawala ng NBTC player sa loob ng court. So, every time na merong nasa loob, NBTC yan, minsan 3, minsan 4. Nakakatuwa. Kami ni Ate, lagi kami nagsisikuhan. NBTC, yung first 5 ng kalaban, saka yung sa atin, ilan na yan? Mga 8 NBTC. So nakakatuwa talaga.
So
Nakakatuwa
it just shows kung gaano ka-successful ang NBTC. Di ba? That you just don't build careers, but you build dreams. Marami rin kayong na ano. But anyway, do you have question pa, Bayan, Ian?
Well, for me, last question. Sir, given a long time na pagiging coach nyo sa collegiate ranks, anong masasabi nyo sa sunod-sunod, I guess, na achievement na si Tuffin from FEU and Thirdy Ravenna from Ateneo ngayon naglalaro, may contract na to play overseas?
Well, isa lang ang pinapakita niya na magagaling talaga ang mga players ng mga Pilipino, di ba? And I think we should not limit them their talent, di ba? If their talent is being appreciated somewhere else outside of our country, we cannot stop them. We have to, we have to allow them to grow as a person, as a basketball player, and pursue their dreams, di ba? Kasi yung ginawa ni Thirdy ngayon, parang I think that's the first time na nangyari, di ba, na kinuha yung player ng Pilipinas to play as an import, especially in a league like Japan, no? So, and then yung kay Tuffy naman, of course, Tuffy is also New Zealander. So, but then again, kahit na ano pang sabihin mo, yung exposure na nakukuha nila dyan sa mga liga na yan will really help them grow as basketball players, and they can use that when they go back to play in the PBA again. Magagamit nila yon, mas mature sila as a player. In fact, we don't know, baka nga yung pathway na kinuha nila might, that might even move up to the NBA. Who knows, 'di ba? Kasi yung experience na makukuha nila doon, baka mamaya may makakita sa kanilang mga scouts from the NBA, and that could pave a way for them also.
Okay.
So, do you have any more questions, Sir Julius and Bea?
I'm good, Ian.
Very good.
Okay, so I guess that's all the time that we have for now. And once again, maraming salamat po, Coach Eric, for gracing our show.
Anytime.
And hoping to see you in the next games kapag naka-recover na tayo from this pandemic.
Pray natin, sana mapayagan na tayo makapagbalik sa basketball. And Julius, kayo nang bahala, tulungan niyo yung push ko para ma-i-add natin, i-push natin.
Oo, wala problema, Coach. We've been very supportive sa NBTC.
Thank you.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, Coach.
Salamat.
Salamat po.
Ingat kayo, ingat.
Salamat, sir.
Thank you, Coach.
Opo.